So let's talk about recovery, feeling like an eating disorder in the very beginning, because that's a thing, okay? I talked about this minimally in my last video, and I really have been ruminating on this thought, and it is reality. Here's the thing about recovery. We know from science, from people telling us, from our intuition, even though our intuition is kind of messed up, that recovery is the healthy choice. That recovery is the option that will give us life rather than take away years and bone and mental joy. But anyway, we know this for a fact because there have been tests, there have been your symptoms, and although denial is a huge part of an eating disorder, deep down we know that we're miserable when we engage in those behaviors. So when we go into recovery, we know we're gonna go uphill. We know we're gonna recover, but it doesn't happen in the way that you expect it. In the beginning of recovery, at least for me, in my experience, it was so hard. I was in college, it was finals week, was fastly approaching, and I had no control over my emotions. I had no control over my eating. I had no control over my life at that point because I couldn't exercise. I couldn't participate in my strict schedules. I was just recovering. And recovering is like a full-time job, honestly. But you have to devote to all of your energy into recovering, and you're totally opposite what you were. At least I was totally opposite what I was. Didn't have the control over my food, and I was very good at controlling emotions at the time, or at least stifling, probably because I didn't have the energy to deal with them then. But I didn't have emotions. Those pesky things. Recovery hit, and like I said, everything changed. And it felt like another disorder. It did not feel like health. It did not feel like I was getting healthy or repairing my bones or, my reproductive system. I was just struggling. And how do we come to terms? How do we carry on that road when we want to heal from our sickness, yet our sickness says recovery feels like another sickness? And the worst things about recovery, the worst fears you have to face. You have to face that weight gain, and you have to face recovery weight, and you have to face not knowing how much you have to gain, because BMI charts are garbage. Predicted and target weights are garbage. It is just you and the food that can determine where you're going to be. That's scary. That's scary for anybody. If anybody had to indefinitely repair from any number of injuries, it would be rough. It's like a broken arm with a cast, and the weight is our cast. We don't have a doctor telling us, okay, it'll repair in about blah, blah, blah months. It's not like that. You have to have this weight until your mental state repairs, and you don't feel the need to participate in any activities that on a daily basis you have to have now. It's hard to even imagine life without it, and to have to live with the cast on you during that time where you have to learn to live without it. It's crazy. Recovery is so hard. And how did I come to terms with that? How did I carry on? I had support from every facet of life, and I had research. The thing that made me recover was the research. I'm so thankful that I found the research. So when in doubt, I went back to my research. When in doubt, I would ever recover, or I would ever redistribute, or I'd ever get rid of the swelling or the water weight, or, the extreme hunger, I would go to the articles. I would get to people who have recovered, who have participated in this arduous process, and learn and take tips from them. Recovery feels like another eating disorder because you have to eat an exorbitant amount of food. you have to repair so much and you have to catch up on so many calories that it's just incredibly abnormal. You can't eat normal amounts because you've been eating too little, so now you have to eat too much, even though there is no too much in recovery. So I think that's part of what makes recovery so hard, just being thrown into another seeming disorder, because it does not feel like order yet, but it does transform into that. Like, recovery now for me, it's still very difficult, but it's much easier than it used to be. I am used to eating the amount of food I have to eat, and I am able to listen to hunger cues now, which is nice. I actually get filled, which is a great thing. And seeing those marks where you can you hear about the legends of, oh, extreme hunger will end, oh, you won't be thinking about food all of the time. And when you get to those landmarks, it's like, oh, it's true, maybe all of recovery is true, and that gives you hope, and that is what pushes you on. But in the beginning, you don't have those, and that's why you need to keep eating, keep resting, until those landmarks come, and you have the utmost comfort and confidence in recovery. So right now, I am carrying recovery weight in an odd distribution, but because of everything that I have experienced and because of the big accomplishments my body has already accomplished, I'm able to trust that someday, somehow, I will go back to normal, whatever normal will be for me. So that's really all I have to say. Recovery's hard, but it's so worth it, and I'm so excited to be fully recovered, because I get tastes of it. Even in the beginning you get tastes of it, even though they're a little more sparse. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope the holiday was great for you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.